where I was looking for an explanation and post-ups out there. He was chuck jobbing and buck dancing, and they were throwing money at him. I didn't know what he was talking about this morning. No, it's got this in it. I'm like, dude, I've got an RDNA 1 card. It does not support ray tracing. The 5000 series does not support ray tracing. It doesn't. And, so what's going on? I mean, explain. How are they able to do hardware real-time ray tracing on RDNA 1 card?
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting on an answer. I'm still waiting. Even Lisa Sue laughed at him, saying, oh, look at that beautiful demo that Tim Sweeney and them ran with Unreal, talking about, the RDNA 2 engine. Well, but she put a smiley face behind it. She didn't mean it. Oh, okay.
Have y'all noticed that we haven't heard any major developer or any company or anything actually showcase like what the X Series X can do? They're not talking about it or anything like that. Everybody's saying everything about what the PlayStation 5 can do, but nobody's saying anything about what the X Series X can do.
Because
go ahead, Paul.
Well, you have to understand it because it's exciting. It's new. It's like this. You got to look at it from an industry perspective, from a job developer's perspective, right? As far as what the Xbox Series X can do, it can bring high performance gaming. For native 4K, 60 frames. I mean, it's honest. It's a powerful platform, right?
Yeah.
It may be the most powerful, most likely. I mean, you could you can make the case that it is the most powerful console ever built, right? But when you look at it from a industry perspective, it's not really anything new in terms of result, right? So you'd be like, oh, I could create a game in native 4K 60. Well, you most likely already did that with PC. You probably already been doing that for years. You probably already seen 4K 60 games. Hell, even beyond that on PC. 4K, native 4K. I remember seeing a video of GTA 5 at native 5K. So the decays and the frame rates is not really a new concept for developers. They've been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. But I'm pretty sure they're happy that more people will have access to these levels of performance because it's in a console now at a cheaper price as compared to paying $600, $700, $800 or $900 PC, which has a little bit higher asking price. So they're probably happy that more gamers will now, the performance is more accessible. Let's put it that way. This is a generation. What Xbox did, what Microsoft did is make high performance gaming more accessible, right? But it's not new. It's not like they're going to have new conversations of native 4K that they already had 2-3 years ago. It's not an exciting conversation other than more gamers get to have this. But now with PlayStation 5, this is new. This opens up their creativity. This opens up new ideas that they probably had for years, but they could never implement. So there's always in a back burner because they're like, the hardware can't do it. So never mind. This is what we're going to do. Well, now when it comes to game development, this is exciting. It's refreshing. Shit that they always dreamed about, they can now try and attempt and maybe even take it further. So they're going to be more excited with the PlayStation 5 from a sense of creativity and pushing their own industry further. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have even the developers that work for third party, right? Them guys are excited from an industry perspective for their profession, even though some of them may know they may not be able to fully use it because who they work for. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because they work for EA, and at the end of the day, their bosses are telling them what to do, right? Their bosses are telling them, you're going to make a game for Xbox One, PS4, PC, Series X, and PS5, and Switch. So they're going to be like, all right, they have to cater to our architecture, right? But that doesn't mean when they have coffee or when they have dinners or when they're just shooting the shit, that they're not excited of what they're seeing because it's part of the industry perspective. It's a growth in their own profession, even though they may not be actively using it to its full potential, but they know it's there. And they're probably hoping that next generation, after this, after the PS5 and the Xbox Series X generation moves on, they'll probably hope that it becomes a normal staple across gaming and not just a PlayStation thing, like the 10th generation Xbox and PC gaming adopt this architecture. So that way it becomes a normal practice across the board and they can always try to take advantage of this architecture. Vice, consoles trying to do 8K. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that's what, I'm pretty sure, in my honest opinion, the console we have now with the PlayStation 5 coming up is going to be the console Xbox gamers are going to get in the 10th generation of gaming. And what I mean by that is Microsoft will, for their next Xbox, that's what's going to be about. The I/O speed, the SSD, getting access to the storage faster so you can change gameplay. So these Xboxes, they're gonna have to wait 7 years to get what we're gonna get now for the next gen. I fully believe that's what the industry as a whole is gonna do.
You're going too far, Porter. Right? You're going too far right now.
I'm telling you though.
Basically what you're saying is they're still playing a catch-up game from 2013.
Hell yeah, and that's what I don't understand, man. They need to let it go because these dudes act like we give a fuck. Like we don't. Jay Barry, right?
Oh.
Let me ask you a question. PlayStation 4 having the best version of games from 2013 to 2017 up until Xbox Series X. Is that something normal for PlayStation, or was that really a fluke?
That was something this gen that happened. You know
yeah, that's a fluke.
PS3 was getting bodied.
Yes, it was a fluke. That's not normal for PlayStation to have the best version. You might say it might be the best version the day it launched, but then there was always another console to come after it that did it better every time. Like PlayStation rarely ever ended up being the console where it'd be like, damn, the best game experience I ever got was on PlayStation. Like, no. PlayStation has always been the console where A, you played exclusives, or B, you play games first before anybody else.
Yep.
It's always been that way. Always been that way. Yo, Oscar Gonzalez.
I agree
what's
with
up?
you 100% too, man. Yeah. That I feel like even this gen, when it comes to Xbox, they always has been the catch-up game. The catch-up game, right? Everything that PlayStation does, Xbox does trickling behind. Like, damn, why we didn't do that first? You know what I mean? And this gen, this next gen coming up, that's the same thing that's going to be happening, man. Same thing's going to be like, damn, why didn't we think of that? And why we ain't showed games like that for our first showing for next gen? You know what I mean? Like,
J-Dub. So on the Xbox website for Series X, it says how they're embracing true 4K, and we all know what that is. But let me ask you, why do you think people were going around saying everything was going to be 60 frames, no lag, 60 frames a second on Xbox? Yeah, on the Xbox.
Because see, here's the thing about it, right? These guys think, and they haven't learned from history. They hadn't learned from the Xbox One X that it don't matter what kind of power you have. If you don't have the games to show off that, so you got to have software and you got to have hardware. And I don't understand how Nintendo can come out with a console, fail, turn around and drop another console and still surpass Xbox all within the same gen. And these guys don't get they don't. The Switch is the world's weakest console, and yet it destroyed the Xbox One X and the Xbox. So I don't know. Maybe some guys just don't want to admit it. But at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot for them and their studios to catch up with Sony Studios. When you saw that logo that said PlayStation Studios, when you saw that, you knew that was the quality, that seal of approval. It's just like Nintendo's seal of approval. That means a banger is on its way. And Microsoft don't have that. And it's sad because even the Gears and the Forza and the Halo, you can't trust those games. You know what I'm saying? They've kind of been on the decline for the last few iterations. So I don't know. A lot of these guys this July event it's going to be about Halo. If Halo does not do what it needs to do, if it don't show off the power, if it's nothing brand new and groundbreaking, it's going to be like a middle of the road 80 something, 80 Metacritic or okay receive.
They have like a 4K 120 mode on Halo, maybe?
Won't matter. It can have 500 frames a second. It won't matter.
You said 4K 120?
Yeah.
asking in general. I mean, I'm the Messiah.
Yes. Listen,
You know what? It should, because there's 1,200 people working on that.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So
Dog had like what 300 people working on The Last of Us 2 at the peak.
all right. So
And it got a 96 Metacritic. So I expect the 1,200 employee development team to take out a 99 Metacritic.
You see what PlayStation do to these Xbox dudes? Yo, PlayStation dropped the event. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's a crazy event, good event." Yo, dudes went on Twitter the next day. Yo, Xbox, yo, they got 1,200 people working on Halo. It's crazy out here.
Yo, so let's just let me give a shout out to Oscar Gonzalez. Thank you for the super chat, brother. He never asks a question. He just be like bloop, and then he just disappears. Shout out to Oscar.
That's that Spanish love.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying.
That's how they do it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still thinking that's Yoshida. Be like, you know what I'm saying? He got Javon right there, my man. He say, "Hey, sup, fellas, riding home from work, listening to y'all. Hey, hopefully we'll give you a good show." Oh, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we don't have you cracking up, and getting a car crash or some weird shit like that. All right. So enjoy the show and drive safe. All right, everybody out there in the chat. I see Saltiest Gaming up in there. Ice Queen Gaming. Thank you everybody for rocking out with us. And we're gonna kick off with the first topic on PlayStation 5 event. All right, we're gonna do a little quick review. I want to ask you guys' opinion. Just hit up whatever you want. And let me know what you think. We'll start out with your J-Dub. All right. So PlayStation 5 event. What did you think about it? What was your highs? What were your lows? What did you like? Did it meet your expectation? Things like that.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Okay. It met every single expectation that I had for it, and some. I was unsure if they were going to show the console, which I'm glad they did. I didn't want that to be that. If they want to show the console, that would have been a tagline about the show afterwards. Oh, they didn't show the console. That would have been another point of poking the bear. Yeah. And so they showed the console, which looked amazing. I mean, it's a futuristic design. It says welcome to 2020 and beyond. Welcome to the future. This is the first time in gaming we have a console that equivalent to a concept art that you've seen from the future. Mm-hmm. And I like that. It's going to be fully customizable according to Jim Ryan.
I just saw that. I saw that article. Yeah. Something that the console is surprisingly
the right sides
customizable.
Be able to. Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to be able to snap off and you can put other ones on. So let's say if they have a Spiderman themed console, those sides will be able to pop off, and
that would be I'll be honest. One of my biggest fears, not fears, but so I remember, like you said, you guys know, I bought the PS4 kind of late, right? Not too late, but I bought it in 2015, right? So I said, fuck it, let me buy it now. I saw Bloodborne, so I made the jump, right? But then 5 months later, the Batman bundle came out. Boy, I was so salty. I was like, if I would have fucking waited, I would have had that one. I was so mad when I saw that Batman themed console, So it would be a great idea that instead of creating custom consoles, I mean, you could still create the custom consoles, but for those that already have the console, all you gotta do is pop out those plates and put in the customizable plates. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I mean? That would be a great idea. You know what I'm saying? That you can, it's a way to snap those two fan-looking things, those sheets, those two sides. If they could pop off and you pop on new ones, I think that will go far for a lot of gamers. A lot of gamers are like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, that thing is a showpiece. It's not one of those consoles where you just take and hide inside your entertainment center cabinet or something like that. This is something that you want people to see. It looks really well, man.
It's not Series X.
I'm not gonna lie. This console and the way it looks compared to the Xbox is like, it makes the Xbox look outdated. It makes it look like a little block, a cinder block. That's what it makes.
GU in there.
Yeah.
It's a simple.
From the jump, the Xbox looked bad. From the jump, when it was revealed, I was like, "That's an ugly console." I mean, it's a fatter X. X.
Right. Yeah. So what about the games, J-Dub?
Oh man, I knew this show was going to be special. When you start off with Spiderman, and then follow that up with Gran Turismo, I mean, and then come on, Ratchet and Clank, and they just kept going on and on and on with the games that we wanted, and then on top of that, they gave us a bunch of brand new IP.
Yeah.
So it's so that's the blend of it. That's one thing I like about it. So they started with Miles Morales Spider-Man, which oh my god,
how you like that? How you like, especially with the current things that's going on with Black Lives Matter? How does it feel to yeah?
That's fucking perfect timing. Think about it. That's fucking like even when they came out with Spider-Man game and they came out for some of you guys who've seen Into the Spider-Verse or whatever. Yeah. That was one thing I said I wanted. On one of these podcasts, I said I wanted this like years ago. But guess what? I got it, and the game looks fucking amazing. And guess what? It's on PS5.
Yeah.
This year.
Exactly, this year. So think about it. Yeah. This is your launch game. You starting with Spider-Man.
I was surprised at that. Yo, did anybody here expect that? Like honestly?
No.
Like if
it took the comic book and movie world by shock. I mean, people were like really. I know J was gonna hop back in, but people were really shocked.
Yeah, the Marvel, the MCU guys, they're flipping out. Like this was.
I did a preview on it. I was like, yo, they gonna show Spider-Man. We're gonna get a little snippet of it. I wasn't expecting a Miles Morales standalone, but I was expecting Spider-Man to be
on that one. I give you that one. I talked about that.
But nobody even like the MCU, and all them guys, they're surprised that they didn't even get a leak or thought, like nobody Insomniac really kept this hidden that they were doing that.
Well, they said regarding this show, they said there was only three people outside of the actual engineering team who kind of put the stuff together about this show that were allowed to know about it. So I'm assuming it was Jim Ryan because he approved it.
Obviously.
I'm assuming it was
Hellman
Yoshida.
Hellman
Hurst. Yeah. And then the rest are the engineers, the guys, who put the console together to make the trailer, and the guys who, knew what the games, but nobody else spoke about it. No one else knew. We didn't see Cory Barlog, and we didn't see the rest of those guys out there, saying anything. So this show was, it took me by surprise. But not only just the amount of games, because they had like 25 fucking games that they showed.
Yeah, they showed a lot.
The quality of a lot of these games, the quality. I'm talking about, it's just the quality, and that shows the difference, man. And nothing's wrong with cartoony games, but they gotta be quality, man. And you gotta lace it up with the big AAA IPs along with. But one thing about Sony, and this one reason I'm in that ecosystem, it appeals to a vast, diverse array of genres, and they had something for the VR people, they had something for the indie crowd, they had something they even had 2K for the casuals. Come on now, they had 2K.
That looked like a real person. I still hard to believe that was. I mean, that looks fantastic. The ray tracing on RDNA 1, that looked fantastic. So
okay. You got anything else to say, J-Dub?
Hey man, you know they had me at Gran Turismo 7.
Oh man, that's when I fell. That's when I fell asleep.
Yeah. That's when I woke up.
I knew when I saw Gran Turismo, I'm like, yo, J-Dub must be flipping out. He's probably. He's gonna be like he's probably like, I need another room for this. I'm gonna have to redo my house. He's calling the contractor. He's building a.
One thing.
He's looking. They just looking at his son. Boy, get the steering wheel.
One thing that kind of scared me in the beginning is the Grand Theft Auto. I thought it was gonna be GTA 6.
And
then it was GTA 5, and it was. I said, this shit look like trash.
They're trying to get all the hood dudes to play the game. They're like, hey, you get $1 million. You get $1 million. I picture Jay Barry's voice. Hey, you get $1 million a month, G. I'm like, Sony knows the hood, all right? Sony knows the hood.
Exactly. I may buy it because there were things on Grand Theft Auto 5 I didn't have enough money to get.
You know
when I was playing.
Apparently,
$1 million a month.
What is it? It's like, I guess the online is exclusive to PS5 for 3 months.
Yeah.
That's just one. It's weird, right? It is weird.
You get it free.
It's free
within that free month.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
And it's weird.
I don't know how
until it drops. Until it drops.
But the game is so big. This is the thing people gotta understand. Sony warned the industry on what they were doing. They said they're going after the hardcore, and that they're gonna snatch up as many games as they possibly can, whether it's gonna be full exclusive or timed exclusive. But one way or another, they're going for the gusto with this console, right? Now I'm thinking, damn, why Grand Theft Auto 5? Like, that's just weird. But when you think about it, there's a hell of a ton of people still playing that game, right? There's a hell of a ton of people paying big money for that. You know why the game that I found this out? The reason why GTA 5 still, the game itself is still selling isn't really because of the game itself. It's because of the shark card. I guess it's cheaper to just rebuy the game and use the shark card money from the game than to actually buy shark card directly. I guess you get more money from the game paying $30 than you would if you were to pay $30 directly for the shark card, right? So it's the shark card that's really, So
people buying that game like 8 times.
Yeah, they'll pay 8 times because it's cheaper, right? So Sony's just trying to catch on that momentum and get people to roll over to that, right? Especially, and I don't think it's so much Sony's trying to game Xbox guys who are playing GTA. I think Sony's just trying to make sure the guys who play Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation stay on PlayStation. And by telling them, hey, we're giving you a free $1 million every month, and then when you cut over, you get the game for free. I think that's what people are going to be like, fuck that. We're all going to play on PlayStation 5.
Sony's trying to secure that PS Plus money because knowing that that's going to carry over the PS5, they're not going to stop that subscription. They're going to keep that subscription going. So that's going to carry them, say that they do take a hit on the hardware as far as like, it might come out cheaper than we think.
All right.
You have a big game like GTA 5 and all that PS Plus subscription, people's going to stay tuned with just so they can play that game online.
Hey, I saw one interesting question that caught my eye from John W. He says, do you think having the ability to customize a console would allow them sell the consoles as a cheaper price? They can sell faceplates to make up the loss of the console. Here's the thing. I'm going to say no, because remember, a lot of the cost savings, they try to keep it for themselves for profit, vice pass it on to the consumer. So what I think the faceplates would do would just be another revenue. Let's say like $20 faceplates, right? And I think $20, $30 faceplates, even $40 faceplates, right? I don't think
like 40.
Yeah, I say it could even be 50, right? Right? And when you think about it, people could be like, God damn, $50 for a faceplate. But when you think about it, you're not buying a whole brand new console to get the faceplates that you want. Like right now, if they would have had the Batman faceplate for $50, a big faceplate, nice design, I would pay it because that's what I want. Because the only other option at the time with the PS4 was buying a whole new console that I just bought 3-4 months prior to that, and I wasn't going to do that, even though I wanted the design.
You remember, PS4 they had the faceplates on there too.
Was it faceplates or skins? It was like skins or some shit.
On the original, you could snap out like the top.
Okay.
Had like little places.
Oh, you're talking about the hard drive, hard drive side, right?
Yeah, not the hard drive.
No, not the hard drive, but the side where you pull the hard drive from, right? Because that side is poppable. I see what you're talking about.
It didn't really kick off like that. Yeah. I didn't really see too much.
Yeah, because I don't think that design was intentional from the start. It sounds like with the PS5, they have that plan. Like, hey, instead of just creating consoles, custom themed consoles that the only people who could take advantage of it are the ones willing to buy the custom theme, let's do faceplates, nicely designed faceplates, where everybody could take advantage of it. So even if you bought the original PlayStation 5 and you see Cyberpunk custom faceplate, official shit, COD official, sure, they're still going to release the console for the people who haven't bought the console yet, but you can still pop it out and swap it out with new shit when it comes down the line and stuff like that. You understand? So that way the people who already own the console aren't left out from, getting the designs that they want, I think that's pretty cool. So excited. Super chat, thank you very much. Y'all think Sony will finally charge $60 for Ratchet and Clank or keep it $40 because Ratchet and Clank could easily be a full price game but hasn't been
That's
since PS2. I don't know. Ratchet and Clank is a full-fledged game.
Yeah, the last one's a remaster.
Yeah, it's the Ratchet and Clank.
They
The last $40 was a remake. Was a full remake, but this one's a full game. And I saw an article today. Insomniac said that it's a game built from the ground up on PS5. So this is a PS5. This ain't running on no PS4 or anything. This is a full-fledged PS5 full development, right off the grip. Okay.
Good point.
All right. Anything else, J-Dub?
No, that's it, man. They knocked it out the park. And it's going to be really hard for Microsoft to follow up with that. So we'll see, man. Hopefully their July show they can knock it out the park. Right. But I think it's just too far gone.
All right, Jay Barry, what do you think about the show? Highs, lows, what you like about it?
Yeah, I personally love the show, man. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why I did that, like, to be honest, I'd have gave it a perfect if it had like some VR show in there, like, oh, this is in VR as well. It did have like, a few games in there that I was just like, nah, you're not hitting home with this one here. But some of the indie games were cool in there, you know what I mean? Like looking at the trailers over again, I was like, you know what, it's caught my eye now. My initial impression was like, I'm good on that. But watching it over and over again, I'm like, okay, I can see where this is going. But started out the show really, really strong. Spiderman, Miles Morales. Oh, if you guys look at this reactions all over YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff, and yo, people don't understand how big of a game that's gonna be, and it's a launch game. That is so huge, yo, for PlayStation, like big, and which I'm really excited for. Gran Turismo, another big game, Sony's biggest IP. I know everybody likes sim racers, but to put some respect on that name. That's Sony's biggest IP.
The dimensions are weakening considerably. How bad is it?
SSD. That was a perfect.
Well, it is certainly not good.
Didn't do what they did.
All right, let me see. All right, I think we back. All right. Okay, I think we're back. All right. Yo, Chad, you can see us now?
The guy.
Yo, Microsoft tried to shut us down.
It's going to be there for years, like on PlayStation, because
gonna run up for PS.
Yeah, that was Square Enix. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Yo.
Yeah.
Are we live again?
Okay, yeah, we're live again.
Back up.
All right.
Mic check. 1, 2.
There we go. We back up.
Okay, we're back up.
That thing buffer.
Who's on Jabari? He was telling you about the show.
I was talking about how I like bug snacks, little fire.
Oh man, hey! Before we start, I want to say I apologize. I don't know what the hell happened. You know what I'm saying? I think Phil Spencer's tired of our shit. I don't know what it is. They're trying to shut down greatness or whatever. But hey, I truly apologize that. But we're back live. All right. Hey, to Steve Tech, thank you for the super chat. Certainly not good, Mark Cerny. All right. Hey, but we're back. All right. We're gonna kick it off again with fucking Crit Trice says stop using XCloud. We're gonna kick it off with Jay Barry to give his thoughts again. All right, Jay Barry.
Snacks. But like I said, man, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, great first game showing there. Got everybody off their seats. Show. So it was the kickoff was just crazy. The middle, it got a little bit, a little bit down with some of the games. But like I said, the more I watch the show, I'm watching the show like multiple times, and the more I see those trailers, some of them I'm like, okay, some of this is cool. Like The Bug Snacks game, I'm not with that. I'm not with the whole, jet game and all that stuff. The Volcano High, I'm not with that. Those sound like.
Oh, you don't like 13 Reasons Why with dinosaurs?
Nah, I'm good on that, man. If you got an easy plat though, to be honest, if that thing got an easy plat, you already know.
Oh man,
I might have to stream that real quick for the culture. You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
But like if you really look at it, a lot of the games that they showed is from third party, but they did have a lot of the first party stuff. They're mixing it in third party stuff, right? But they showed off 13 PlayStation console exclusives. Head marketing, global marketing dude, and I think he's like the consumer experience guy. He said that 13 of those games is console exclusive with PlayStation 5, and that console exclusivity arrangement can range from a couple of months to a couple of years. Yeah. And we've seen games where now we're seeing a tagline designed for PlayStation 5. You know what I mean? Where going to have games that's going to be specifically designed for PlayStation 5. I'm not saying that it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation, but the mindset is that this game is built for the PlayStation 5. And I think those games like that, when it comes to his talk as far as exclusivity, that might be on PlayStation for a couple of years. You know what I mean? But overall, great show, man. When it went low, they kicked it back up high with Resident Evil, and a Deathloop game looks really cool. And then they hit us with that Boom Black, man. Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn, not Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon 2, Forbidden West at the end.
Forbidden West, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? We was on a high when we saw that. Then they kicked it off. This is something important that I like people to look at here. Is that when they went to show off the console, it wasn't Sony representatives talking.
Mm-hmm. No.
These were third parties that was talking. Huge difference on what Microsoft does when they reveal their console, where they got to be they're touting the power, they're touting the capabilities. These were the developers that play the games that we play the most, is touting the console, and then they revealed it, which looks sexy as hell, man. Matching the controller,
fire.
Oh, I definitely like the look of the console, man. It's a sleek look. It looks like it's gonna be tall, but yeah, I'm standing that thing up. I'm going all digital, baby. I'm getting the sad edition.
No more sexy blue disc for you.
Bro. This whole generation, I haven't put one physical disc in any of my PS4s.
You don't be buying no games from Unlimited Run or nothing like that?
Oh shit.
Nope. All digital for me. I've been all digital since the end of PS3 when they added that preload feature.
Yeah. Right.
Been all facts. I do have physical stuff like collector's editions and stuff like that, but I never put a disc in my PlayStation. So PS5, it makes perfect sense for me. They offering that right there from the launch. I'm gonna get the digital version.
Imagine if it's cheaper.
I think it's gonna be like $50 cheaper. I don't think they're gonna go to 100 like everybody.
So somebody came up with a good point, and I'll get Craig Harris. So somebody made up a good point that yes, the disk drive isn't that valuable or that expensive to have $100 difference. But when you consider though what the $100 difference actually does, right? Let's say if a person's borderline between disc and digital, right? And it's only a $50 difference, the person could look at it as, you know what, for $50 I have a 4K Blu-ray player. Fuck it, I'm gonna stick with the disc-based version. But if you have a $100 difference, right, which is a much bigger gap, that person could be like, oh shit, $100. That's $100, G.
That's an easy.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that potentially on why Sony would do that. Because now they know that person will never buy a physical game. Everything that you have to buy is going to go through their store. And if you notice, a lot of times, especially when it comes to brand new shit, digital games are more expensive than physical games. That's the reason why I'm going physical. Because like one of the lessons was Street Fighter 5. When I bought Street Fighter, yeah, but when I bought Street Fighter 5, it was $30. I'm thinking, all right, let me switch over. I was on Amazon, right? So I'm on the Amazon app. I'm like, oh shit, Street Fighter 5, $30, cool. Let me flip it to the digital version. That shit went up to $60. I'm like, hell nah. Yeah, I'm gonna get this physical.
I can see that argument, but
and Sony wants you. And think about it: no trade-ins, no used games for those digital guys. So Sony, by making it a little bit more cheaper, they're gonna get a lot more return on investment in revenue in the long run. Because whoever's locked down into that all digital console, you ain't got cheaper options in terms of let me trade my games or let me buy or use bundle in eBay or whatever. Nah, motherfucker. You got digital.
Thing is with digital is more about the convenience.
Well, I'm saying no. I'm not saying that your choice is wrong. I'm talking about, let's say, like a user who's on the fence. You're all digital. You already all in. But if a person's on the fence, that $100 price point could be the. You know what? I'm gonna get the all digital. I'm gonna save me $100, not knowing your ass got no other options but to buy the games through their store because that's what you do, or get a digital card, which I think Sony's stopping too, right? Did Sony stop that? You can't get.
They stopped on third-party stores.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna start doing it on their own specific store.
Yeah,
I mean you can already do that with the PSN store.
Hey, I got one question, Porter Rock.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So the Hennessy bottle that you got at the house, how many coins you got filled up in that bitch?
Shit, it's fucking. Well, it's not in this house. I had a milk. I had them fucking whatchamacallit, the water gallon shits with euros, with dollar, with dollar euros and shit. Fuck a quarter. My shit was whole dollars inside that motherfucker.
That's probably what you're sitting on right now, the podcast.
Shit, you know what I'm saying? fucking. No. So my shit, whatchamacallit, So last what?
Are you trading in your PS4?
No, I'm gonna keep it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. You can't trade away greatness.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm not trading my PS4.
I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I mean, I wish I got the PS3. I wish I would have kept my PS1 and PS2 when I look back. I wish I would have kept all my consoles. You know, I feel envious of all the dudes that had the foresight.
You know what's funny? Why I think people be lying, bro. I have my original PS1, but guess what? That shit don't work. I just have it there just to have it.
Yeah,
it don't work at all. If this don't work, these dudes be like, I have my original PS1 and it still works. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, you kept it crisp.
Bitch, you didn't play it.
Yeah, that's right. I still got my modded OG Xbox back in North Carolina. I have like 300 games on that motherfucker.
It's crazy that modded Xbox has more value.
Yo, that modded Xbox was the shit, bro. Oh my god, I destroyed Blockbuster. Oh shit.
Yeah, evil. But nah, real talk though is a great show. And the funny thing about this show is just the beginning, man. Yeah. And they emphasizing that too, like, yo, this is just the first stuff, man, to come as far as announcements and games.
You know what's crazy, bro? Like as I was watching it, I was happy and surprised, but not as much as I should have been. But my expectations were all met. That's the thing. I watched it and everything, and all the marks I had coming in, all the pre-season notes. Oh yeah, I'm gonna see Horizon Zero Dawn 2, see some Spiderman. I'm gonna see a couple new games I might want to play. They delivered on every aspect that I expected. So I feel like it was an amazing show. And like you look at it,
that show. To be honest with you, that show I think it solidified was purchased for PlayStation.
Oh hell yeah,
you know
easily. Like, it was a first impression.
Horizon Zero Dawn 2 will be the best sequel ever made.
Oh man, Clouser, that shit, you know. All right. Oh, so let's go with Craig Harris.
Yeah.
All right. Give your thoughts on the PS5 event.
Yeah, it was solid. I thought there should have been more gameplay.
Bills, P-Rock. I guess he missed a super chat. My bad, Craig.
What happened?
But I thought
there's a super chat.
No, I want you to pay the bills.
Okay, so
yeah, go ahead and pay the bills.
Right, hold on. Okay, it's shout out to Steve Tech. He said Cloud Azure plus DX12 plus BC Pack plus 12 T-File equally certainly not good. Oh shit, my man came out with that algebra. He came out with that algebraic equation. Oh shit. Yeah, you know what's missing from that equation? Like new IPs, and that's the one thing. You know, is there any other super chat? That was it, right?
Yeah.
I'm caught up. I don't see anything else. All right, go ahead, Craig.
Oh, just real quick. Yeah, I thought I gave it it was an 8 something. It was solid. I wanted a little more gameplay, but they have other events planned down the road. The game that caught my eye the most was the Ember Lab, the Kana Bridge of Spirits. And shout out to Sony for putting, Black people up there first. They had Black developers talking and things like that.
Okay.
Most disappointing game by far is Goodbye Volcano High. That was straight up trash. And also
man, nobody likes 13 Reasons Why, the dinosaur game.
Well, no, and also Stray.
What if that game is like what was that game that came out by
Life is
Strange?
Strange.
Life is
What if
Strange?
it's like that?
Maybe.
It could be. I was glad for people who got their Demon Souls thing from Blue Point. I am more interested in Square Enix's game, the Project Athia, and also interested in Returnal, Housemarque's game, because there's rumors that Sony has purchased Housemarque or Housemarque, however you want to
Returnal looks interesting.
Yeah, and it looked good. The Pragmatica game looked fun. Looked like it's going to be interesting. And the Horizon game, the just looked so clean. Very, very clean looking. Great job, 4K, according to both NX Gamer and White Zaddy, Digital Foundry, 4K native on most of these titles. And I mean, what else can you say? Ray tracing on everything, great for RDNA 1. So, because my RDNA 1 card does not do ray tracing at the hardware level. But yeah, and the way the way Ratchet and Clank showed off the SSD was just that you got to really understand how much data was being streamed when they were. Because it's not like there's several portals opening up. It's not like you can only go through one. You can go through any, and then instantaneously everything was just there. There was no load. So they've pulled it off. Sony has figured out a way to transition data, raw information, and get it to your screen so you can interact with it in whatever light speed is what they were talking about. So shout out to them for seeing it in action, but kind of iffy on the gameplay. The Resident Evil looked pretty fun. I may buy this one. It's got werewolves in it. So I may end up buying this one. But
Craig be coming up with the craziest stuff.
It looked pretty cool with the Kanai Bridge of Spirits. As far as something new, that's going to be on PS4, PS5, and I believe on PC. So I'm wishing that game nothing but the best of luck. The Square Enix game I thought was interesting. I disagree with Jay Barry. The Far Shore from Super Brothers, that does look interesting, just to kind of see what that's about. And of course, I'm gonna play Hit. So, but the rest of that, Bug Snacks, Little Devil, I can't hang.
That devil inside look fire, bro.
Hey, I want to.
I hope it does well.
Tavia Smalls says on P-Rock, the 30 FPS might be because of the ray tracing. Hope you can turn it off. I personally would like that option to turn off ray tracing if it means improve frame rates. What do you guys think about that?
But I agree with the whole. This is the thing I have people be questioning people, right? If the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X can offer both performance and resolution modes right now on this current gen, why wouldn't the consoles that's 4 times, 6 times better do the same thing? You know what I mean? Where devs can do that option. Yeah. I just feel like devs pretty much just showing their game in the best light as far as the graphics,
like
the
graphically,
details, the
I think so too. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Here's the thing about it, right? They displayed these demos and these games in the way that they wanted you to see them. Nobody says that there won't be options. We don't know. People are already jumping the gun. Even Digital Foundry said maybe, maybe these games are at 30 frames a second, or maybe this. They don't know. These are games, and a lot of these games are still in alpha and in that particular form factor. We got to wait and see. The console hadn't been released yet. We don't have them in our homes yet. We'll see once we get closer and once they come out and tell us what the specs of the games are. But guys have already started running rampant with a lot of
the PC nerds. J-Dub is the PC nerds, man.
Yeah. The PC guys, they are they hurt. And I don't know why they involving themselves in consoles. I mean, you PC Master Race, you supposed to be worried about your 3080 Ti coming up. You worried about hating on PlayStation. And I just don't understand.
Well, it's a couple of things, right? because we also got to look. The stream was originally live for 1080p 30. So obviously a 60 frame game, but yeah, your stream is 30 doesn't really make sense, right? And like you said, and like Jay Barry said, it's all about the eye candy, right? So they're trying to show their games at the best graphical fidelity because it's what pops out. It's because it's really what you see, right? Notice nobody complained about whether the game was 60 or 30 until somebody told them to. Until Digital Foundry said, hey, some of these things was running at 30, that's when everybody started complaining, right? But notice nobody, while the stream was being played, was saying, wait a minute, that shit looks like 30 to me. Or those games don't look like it's running 60, right? So I think the graphical options are going to be there because, like Jay Barry said, PS4 Pro had it. So I think that's going to be a standard thing we're going to see in these consoles where you're going to have performance mode, maybe potentially turn off ray tracing. That could be a potential thing, and stuff like that. Like a little bit more accessibility in terms of how you want to play your game. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you. It doesn't have ray tracing. This RDNA 1, according to D-Batch and Post Up.
Oh boy.
P-Rock friend, man.
So you can't turn on. So shout out to the super chat. You got to keep P-Rock's pockets full. But it doesn't have ray tracing because according to them, according to those guys, it's RDNA 1.5 or RDNA Lite. So
what is that? Variable rate
VRS or whatever. All this crazy.
Yeah, they didn't have VRS, even though who cares about that? That's trash anyway. That means you're pulling assets from the far away to the near, and that makes it make your screen, your draw distances look trash. But hey, the thing is,
the PlayStation 5 is going to have that stuff is probably just not called VRS because it's a very custom built console.
No. Listen, here's the thing about it, right? All that stuff is there. Mark Cerny, when he gave it, he spoke on the stuff that he thought developers would find valuable for them. Just because, AMD made a lot of this tech and it's available, don't mean that that's what the developers want to do. The developers might be like, look, I get it. VRS is there for those who want it, but we want to focus on this. This is why Mark Cerny rarely talked about ray tracing. He said, yes, there for the developers that want to use it, but I'm focusing on the SSD. I'm focusing on the 3D audio. I'm focusing on all this other stuff, the variable, compute and all that stuff. He's focusing on the stuff that developers have been going gaga over for the last 2 months. And you can tell because they've been very adamant and very loud about it in all their articles saying this is amazing. This will allow us to create bigger worlds and do all this stuff. None of them, I haven't seen not one of them say, yay, VRS, I can't believe this, I want this. I haven't seen them talk about any of that shit that Xbox guys are caring about. None of them. If that was the case, where are all these developers and why aren't they hyping up that particular stuff on Xbox Series X? You see what I'm saying? These developers came out and showed games that they cared about, and they showed it with what they were looking forward to. That doesn't mean the tech isn't there, because according to some guy, PlayStation 5 wasn't supposed to have ray tracing, or it was going to be software ray tracing, or it was going to be some kind of other dumb shit that they kind of made up. But when Sony came out and showed you these bangers, the last thing you thought about was, I wonder how many P's these are, or I wonder if this here is this parallel ray tracing or some other kind of dumbass shit that they talking about. It's like, listen, if you really care about these specs, right? If you really care about these specs and these features, you would be a PC gamer. You wouldn't even waste your time with consoles.
Well,
we buy these consoles because they're cost efficient and the exclusives, because we know that they just have the exclusives. It's a curated experience and it just works out the box. You don't have to worry about the drivers. Look, we can't even fucking do a show without Porter Rock's computer crashing. You see, that's the reason. So I think PC guys need to stay in their own lane, go $1,000 video cards and play your games and just sit around and wait for the ports, wait for the PlayStation ports to.
Well, I'll talk about PC. I'll get after this. Let me get all day's opinion. But El Matador 809 says Ghost might not end having a 96 score, but I believe Jin will give Ellie that smoke. Also, Sony needs to give release dates for those China Hero games. Yeah, no shit. Especially Lost on the Side. That's like, goddamn, it's like I'm waiting forever. So you're all day, my brother.
It's safe to say that got pushed to PS5.
It's still gonna be a PS4 game. It's still a PS4 game, but it's just they'll probably do something. This shit did all day.
The target was 8 this year, right?
No. So the account said that there was no official release for the end of the year. That he never said that. That was somebody else that said that, but he never actually officially confirmed it will be end of the year. I'm thinking early 2021. So I see all day bounced out.
Hold on, what was going to be 20?
Lost Solar Side. Early 2021.
Okay.
You got Genji Impact too that needs to come out.
So here's the thing. So I mean, not part of the topic, but let me finish off because I was gonna get all day's thoughts, but hopefully he comes back. But so my thoughts on the show. So I give it a 9 out of 10. Also, main reason is because it did what it's supposed to do for the PlayStation fan, right? Our number one concern for PlayStation fans isn't fucking graphics or best version of third-party multiplats. It's what Sony's vision for the PlayStation 5 is. Are you going to support it like you did, with every other console? With all the talks about new leadership, management changes, day and date on PC, Bloodborne remake. I mean, it was just a whole bunch. And I know a lot of it comes from fanboys. But after a while, you have to start to wonder, like, especially when Sony doesn't like to nip things in the bud quick, right? They just let shit linger, It's one thing, for fanboys, to just talk about it. But when you see news articles and that shit starts getting onto the media, you would think that Sony would say something, but they don't say anything. They don't say anything. They just leave it alone. And after a while, what's up?
So all of that talk about, Sony's scared. They scared. The PlayStation 5 overheating and they gain all of that shit. Sony didn't reply to none of that.
Yeah,
shit.
Right. But after a while, you're thinking, damn, like, especially when it comes to like the video games, right? Which is the heart of the PlayStation. Like, damn, is it going to be PC day one, whatever? And it's not like, I'm going to cry. Oh my God, it's on PC. It's just, where do I spend my money on? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't like to be jerked into thinking I'm getting something when I didn't really get it and I could have gotten something better somewhere else. You know what I mean? But what the show did was like, no, we're making exclusives, right? It's not about, we're not going to worry about, oh my God, we still have 100 million people on PS4, so we got to worry about them over the people who's going to spend $500 on the PS5. No, we're going to give you exclusives. We're going to repeat the same thing we did. The conversation of, we want to give the PlayStation fan base something new and experience something new that they couldn't before. And the only way to do it is with the PlayStation 5. And they actually showed it. They showed exclusives. They show going after third party to make at least timed exclusives on the PlayStation 5, right? They show the big games that people want. Spiderman, that's huge. I don't really care about the Xbox damage controlling. Saying, it's not real game, whatever. I'm like, bro, you don't even have a Marvel game at all. Like, focus on that. Like, that's what annoys. I say that's what annoys me. They criticize shit that they don't even have. Like, yo, you can't look at my steak and be like, oh, you eating medium? No, you need to eat that shit rare. I'm like, bitch, you're eating chicken nuggets. Like, get your own steak and criticize your own steak. Fuck you looking at my table for?
They the dudes that tell you how to do your lawn, but they lawn all fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't understand how these Xbox
that
guys
shit
are
don't make no sense. Like, even Nintendo got an exclusive Marvel game. Like, shut up. Like, instead of like saying trying to downplay our shit when you don't even have it at all, go after your company and tell them, yo, what are you doing? Yeah, so we could be on the same level. Like Nintendo, they got Marvel shit. PlayStation got Marvel shit. Like, what do we got? Battletoads with no online? Like, really? Like, that's the effort you're putting into.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't make no sense that our shit. Like I understand. I mean, it's just probably a thing that the people on top of the mountain get criticized the most. But if you want your brand to be better, right, then you got to raise the standards of that brand, not try to tear down the top guy. That's not how it works. You don't blow out the next man's candle and think you're successful because your candle's brighter. No, Your candle didn't go nowhere. It's still on the bottom feeder. You understand? All you did, you put the energy into trying to blow out everybody else's candle instead of putting the energy into your own shit, right? Like, it's crazy. Some people rated, on the Xbox side, this show 6 out of 10. And it's their opinion, right? But yet you give your show 8 out of 10. But a lot of the games wasn't even running on the Xbox Series X. Like, let me put it this way. If a game is running on PC, that's a 0. Because it's not on your console.
A fact.
That's like somebody. That's like somebody else.
No gameplay either.
Yeah, that's like
it's not running on your console.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of somebody taking your SATs. You didn't take it, so you don't deserve to go to these colleges. It wasn't you.
They blame the third-party developers. That's their coverage. It's like, no, that wasn't Microsoft's fault.
No, that's their fault. They need to own that shit.
No, this is what they were saying.
Yeah, Craig, I remember that.
The fan base needs to own that shit. The fan base, listen, that whole thing with Microsoft, they put it up. It wasn't an accident. They are trying to appeal to their fan base. They did that show because they thought that's what their fan base wanted to see, because that's all you heard from them. Now, all of a sudden, you're hearing, you gotta wait till July for first party. Motherfucker, you didn't talk about first party for the last 8 months. All you said was 12 T-flops, best version of third party, because that's all they play. That's what sells the most. That's what everybody plays. That's what you see in a chart, and that's what most people want to play. People don't want to play exclusives. Exclusives only sell 10%. 10 million Spiderman 4 and 100 million PlayStation. Nobody cares. That's what y'all been feeding, and that's what Microsoft's been listening to. And then when Microsoft goes, well, shit, when you guys are talking about, third party, here you go. And now that it falls flat on their face, now they're trying to ignore it and want everybody to forget about it. Like, nah, that was Microsoft's first impression. That's not our fault. Microsoft decided to show, hey, when you get these games, boom. This is the first look of Xbox without games. Oh, and by the way, it's not even on Xbox. It's PC.
P-Rock.
Like, what?
Yeah. PlayStation showed one of the biggest games that was on PS4 and sequels to those games, right? Or extensions to those games, right? And they also showed new IPs and all that stuff. You know what? We're going to give it a 6 out of 10. I seen people's reactions to this show, bro, and they were so excited. It was like, yo, PlayStation, you starting off like this? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Microsoft came out, the whole show, there was mastering gameplay. Yep. First ever gameplay for the Series X. None of that. Games wasn't even running on the Series X. They were running on PC builds.
Oh, that's terrible.
I mean, this is subjective. The games to me was like, it was it wasn't no big hitting games. Not even a big AAA game was shown at that conference.
But Jabari, a lot of those games, most of those games that they showed were already out on PC and had already had low rated scores on PC. So guys, scoring looks beautiful, but it had already been out on the PC prior.
The Bright Memory game too, right?
Yeah, Bright Memory 2 had already been out there, and again, it fits right on the Xbox platform. It's a 60s rated game, so it fits right in. And none of those games just really said next gen, and they were mediocre at best.
J-Dub, the biggest game that was the whole lead up for that event. The dude came out here and put on his screen on y'all and said, "Yo, here is the first gameplay debut for Assassin's Creed Valhalla."
Yeah.
And they showed not one gameplay, but people was like, "I'm gonna give that show an 8 out of 10." What?
Dude, they got 52 CUs, and I don't know what that is, but that's what they got. They rocking that, and that's all I keep hearing about. And RDNA 1.
The thing is, the standard is so low for Xbox. Like that 8 out of 10 doesn't really mean an 8 out of 10. Any other conference, that's like a 5 or 6. I mean, but for Xbox, different thing.
I'm gonna say this overall for the gamers, for the chat, for everybody to learn. You have to be careful when you buy a console hyping power. I never hype power for any console at any point in this generation, because the absolute truth is the people who control what you're going to play is the developers, right? Unlike PC, where you can do what you want, play at the performance that you want, because that's just the architecture PC. Console, the developer is going to give you what they feel is going to make them the most money. That's what you guys got to understand. Publishers and developers, you know, sure, is 60 frames, you know, locked the better experience, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sell the most money because of graphics. Graphics sells on console. It always has. Majority of the console gamers want graphics over frame rates. You know, the people who are screaming, "Oh my God, it's frame rates." Nah, not for the majority of console gamers.
If I wanted 144 frames, I'll jump on my PC.
You see what I'm saying? Yo, Lionel B.
Sorry, guys. Guys, hold on 1 second. I apologize. So, breaking news: Bleeding Edge is now $5 at Best Buy.
Oh shit!
If you guys want to play for that game,
they got to pay me $5 to play it.
By the way, Grounded releases tomorrow.
It's a preview beta, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's part of the preview program now. It's a preview program game.
Guys are gonna say, "Oh, it's fun."
Yo, Lionel B. Thank you for Super Chat. He says, I see a lot of people reviewing the PS5 show, but forgetting to include impact in the review. The PS5 revealed 20 million plus on YouTube and trending. I think he's social media impact.
No.
Okay.
Oh no, that was there. I mean, when you have, but again, Sony dropped a gamepad and it tore up the internet. It started to trend. So that's just from a gamepad. So you had to know this was going to.
The funny thing about it, the impact is real, because not only the whole conference got like 20-something million views, but the individual games itself is like 10, 15 million too.
It's huge.
You know what I mean? The individual trailer. Yeah,
I'm telling you, that show
records on every single medium. It broke the record.
That show is whatchamacallit. It's gonna attract people to buy. Everybody who owns majority of people who owns a PS4 and enjoys PlayStation, they're buying a PS5. Sony did what they needed to do to convince people to stay on PlayStation. All right. It's just, and I think, and I'm gonna tell you, I'll say the I ain't gonna say the biggest weakness, but I would say a chink in their armor has usually been how long it takes Sony to really drop them hammers on people, right? Like they slow out the gate and they eventually build up. They have some good titles, but then as time goes on, they really hit the hammer, right? If they could speed up the process, right, and get those big bangers over the next 2 years, right, before Microsoft can really do their thing, because you already heard Microsoft. Microsoft is not going to have Xbox Series X exclusives for the first 2 years. It's all about, you know, catering to cross-gen, but then, you know, after 2 years. If Sony hits the gap to where, we showing bangers within these 2 years, and we're going to show more bangers beyond it, that will convert some people to be like, you know what, I'm done with Xbox, because they just don't have the games. Sure, they have the power, they have the multiplats, but as you can see, there's a lot of people who are not happy. I ain't gonna say a lot, but there's people who aren't having as much fun as they thought they would with the Xbox One X, because they see they're missing out on many big exclusives.
Yeah, and shout out to Sick Humor. That's what he was saying today. They're unhappy. And when you break everything down, you throw all the fanboyism out, everything. They are an unhappy group of fans because they thought that Xbox was going to deliver games on the level that Sony has delivered games. I mean, in 2018, I think it was 2018, Spiderman, God of War, Detroit Become Human all came out like within 120 days. It was just overwhelming, and they were just sitting there just pissed. And then their cowboy game lost the game of the year.
Look at this year. They mad. They even more mad this year.
Man. They got super mad on Friday. They got nothing in 2020. Nothing on Xbox.
They ended the generation. That's 2 generations where Xbox ended pretty mediocre.
This ain't mediocre. This is terrible. Like there's nothing on Xbox One. Nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah, this is as bad as I can remember it being. And this is why, and when Jeff Keighley had his show, was it December? They automatically just quit this generation. They quit, and they started talking about next generation. It's like, wait a minute.
They want to get the hell up out.
Yeah, they're ready to get the hell up out of here. And unfortunately, the ponies are not going to let you do that. Okay, there's still games coming out. You're going to have to deal with this on Friday because there are going to be a bunch of assholes taking screenshots of Ellie kissing that girl. And what are you all going to be doing? Sit up there talking about 12 T-flops in July and 52 CUs. And it's really sad where they've got.
All right, hey, I'm going to do the tactical panic super chat. Sony always win, baby. Hey, appreciate the super chat. And let me ask you guys a question right there. So I want to zone in on Ratchet and Clank real quick. All right, because we've been talking about the SSD and hyping the SSD and its technology, and stuff like that. How impressed were you guys? Impressed with the first case showing? Because I think really out of all the games in the show, right? Some games look great. Yeah, Spiderman, Morales, great stuff. Horizon Zero Dawn. But as far as what Sony's been talking about with its SSD and architecture, I think Ratchet and Clank was the only game that I seen that clearly visually displayed that. What do you guys think about that when you saw that?
I thought it was a great showpiece to show that because they did. They showed you actual gameplay. They did a full kind of walkthrough of a gameplay, couple of levels. They showed you the instantaneous worlds when you fall through the portal actually just pop up right there and you just continue on playing. And that's crazy. That's something we've never seen before. So that's a great showpiece for that. Now, I did notice in games like Gran Turismo, right, where you would normally have a loading screen, especially if you're used to playing Gran Turismo Sport, it takes about 2 minutes to transition from a race back to the main menu because it plays the music and it plays a little slideshow of other cars and stuff like that. I noticed that that was gone. You went from a race and then they exited out and they went to the home screen and that home screen loaded up. That is the stuff I'm looking forward to. Those are small details, but they matter a lot when you're comparing it to the previous generation and how gaming has always been since we started with the whole CD-based thing. It's not like, right now I think the speeds are equivalent to a cartridge. You guys know, you're playing a cartridge like with the Nintendo 64 and stuff back then, they didn't really have any load screens and stuff like that, whereas the PlayStation version of a particular game would have the load screens. You would have to sit there and listen to the music and watch the thing that says loading. This is going to be huge for gaming, for everybody. So regardless if you got an Xbox or a PlayStation, the fact that you have SSDs and the load times that's great for gaming. But what PlayStation is trying to do is push the bar even further and say no load screens. Okay. We're eliminating load screens, period. And that's crazy.
Okay. Before I go on to Jay Barry, El Matador, before I move on to you real quick, El Matador, shout out for John Layden for helping acquire Insomniac because look how they are popping games and more games incoming like Resistance. And Mr. Heisenberg, Sony said that they want people to move over to PS5 as fast as possible. I think the first year of games for the PS5 will be much stronger than the PS4. I think so too, and I think there's a clear sign of that. So Jay Barry,
their lineup is already strong.
Yeah. So Jay Barry,
and the interview on the PlayStation blog, majority of the games that were shown there are launched like window type
I
games.
think so. First year, that's amazing.
That's what the marketing guy said on the PlayStation blog interview.
All right.
As far as the Ratchet and Clank thing, I thought it was an excellent showing, man. Like people, that's one of the demos that I think people got won over with a PS5 as well. Yeah, you had the games and Miles Morales there, but when they actually saw that, it was like, oh, so this is what they meant. And this is what Mark Cerny pretty much meant when they said that, it's going to change in game level design as well. Like, yeah, it's cool. Like the loading is cool, but to be honest with you, you wouldn't be having a game like that, with all that detail and ray tracing and all that stuff, if it was not on the PS5, because you wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't be able to create a game that way. You know what I mean? So it does what Mark Cerny was saying is a deep dive and all that stuff. Yeah, I actually saw what he's saying because I see the difference in the level design and how this can impact developers and how they want to really craft the game that they want to craft instead of going through all the the hiccups and stuff that they did with this gen and previous gen. So it was an excellent demo. Amazing stuff. Even a little talk, the key words that they put in there, ray tracing, and it got everybody hooking. When he mentioned the ray tracing on Clank, I was like, yo, you actually see the reflection on Clank. And now when you saw the floor and the ray tracing and that stuff, that's the thing, because I see a lot of people is comparing like, oh, but Titanfall 2 did something like this where
I saw that's
they
embarrassing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They built 2 levels, and you remember the time portal level in Titanfall 2?
I mean, the concept was awesome, right? Because I even talked about that when I played the game. But it's the same level. They just different skins. It's not. They're not. They're not loading new assets. It's not the same at all. Like you're talking about.
World.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like totally. It's not the same at all. You know, that's almost. It's just amazing the damage control. You know, and here's the thing I don't understand. Why are they damage controlling this? Because this pushes gaming forward. That's when you know they don't understand when you see something that could potentially push gaming forward. You need to support it and hope everybody adopts it.
Xbox doesn't do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Xbox doesn't do it. That's why damage controlling. Xbox doesn't do it.
It's insane that the damage controlling is something. Yeah. So Craig, what you think about Ratchet and Clank example of the first type of games that this architecture Sony's been talking about?
It's the second time we've seen it. The Unreal demo displayed it as well. I could not fathom.
Well, you know what? I would say Unreal demo wasn't as good as the Ratchet and Clank. Because Ratchet and Clank, you saw completely different worlds, like instantly.
But I expect the first party demo to be better than a third party. But as far as them streaming the assets in, it's really hard to understand how much information was on that screen. Like I was saying before, there were portals popping up, so it wasn't like, well, he's just going to go to one, and they can already pre-render because that's the only place you can go. He could go to 3 or 4. And the ray tracing again, RDNA 1. I need post up, RD batch. I need an explanation. RDNA 1 does not host ray tracing at the hardware level, so I need my explanation, or there gonna be some busted cheeks. But at the end of the day, I thought that was a very good demo to display, and you saw some of it on when the girl crashed her ship. How the scenes were transitioning, because remember, she dies. And and the world changes. She dies, the world changes. And it's not just loading. It's just the world's going to change when you die. So they mentioned that. So I'm really excited for that. And you're right, it pushes the thing forward. Why are they damage controlling, however? Because the PlayStation does this and the Xbox does not. That's what it comes down to. It's like when the Macho Man Randy Savage used to say, I am the World Wrestling Federation champion, and you are not. And so they're damage control, and that's just who they are. I mean, like today, somebody was lying today, saying that it was low. That was all being real time. I
just find it really. And do their digital foundry analysis on PlayStation games and their own events and their own games, like Grounded, Leading Edge, and Battletoads. These guys get Bird Box and they put the blindfold on and act like they can't see. And they just say, "Oh, just play your games. It's fun. Just play your games. I have fun with it."
Try to play victim with Xbox games, bro. Play victim.
Exactly.
That's 100% facts, though, man. Yo, these guys, they get out everything, man. The microscope. It comes to the PlayStation games. Like, I remember Days Gone was the funniest thing I ever seen, because you coming off of Sea of Thieves, you coming off of Crackdown, but here Days Gone, these dudes were talking about tire marks, they were talking about tire marks. I was like, yo, this is a parallel universe here. Like, what's going on? Like,
this is the multiverse madness.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
We don't need Doctor Strange. We already got multiverse madness.
Shit crazy, bro. Yo, dudes like the tire marks don't match. I was like, yo, bro. All right, man.
Like, your Kraken don't even got a body. Like,
did you hear they mocked that in the Ratchet and Clank demo? They were like, "Oh, is that a Kraken?" That's what they said in that demo. You can go back and watch it.
Could be an octopus.
Isn't it ironic? Oh,
but you that's funny that Chili Dog said that, yo, Puddlegate, right? So I forgot who was joking that and Greg Miller was joking at Insomniac about it. Said, "Oh, will it have puddles?"
Yo, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Insomniac was like, "Yeah," and they're gonna be ray traced.
Ray traced. They're joking. I mean, yo, Sony's clowning. This is what I'm liking. I'm liking the Sony I'm seeing right now with these developers because they're clowning like you saw Neil Druckmann talk to somebody and be like he said, "Hey, something about checks in the mail or some shit." You know.
Yeah, he was talking about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Him and Corey Barrard, they be having a lot of fun this week. I know that for sure.
You know what, guys? A lot of people were nervous about Jim Ryan taking that top role over Shuhei Yoshida and stuff like that. A lot of people were scared. They were bringing up all these rumors. Yeah. Oh, this and that. And this is the result. This one show is the result of Jim Ryan's doing. And I'm liking what I'm hearing because all day today he's been talking about, well, you know, it's not just about our exclusive bangers, but it's about the quality of our bangers. And so he's saying they're going to continue that. And this is just the beginning. He has a lot more to show us over the next few weeks and the next few months. So, man, I think, you know, just like Sony, they've been able to capitalize on Microsoft at every single event and every single turn. I think they're waiting for the July event, and then they're going to drop another event, or they're going to drop a bunch of, another inside or state of play or whatever.
I know they have to do the teardown. I know they promised that teardown.
You know, here's my thing. Yeah, so I would say that's one thing. It was a missed opportunity, and maybe not even a full teardown. But after they revealed the console, what they should have done the next day was already have something in place for like maybe at least an article or maybe something they pre-arranged with Digital Foundry to have like at least the cooling breakdown. Because I know I understand it's a lot of fanboys talking, a lot of rumors, right? But it's to get ahead of the narrative, right? So you show the console, obviously, in your PS5 reveal event, and everybody's excited, yada, yada. Then the next day, boom, Digital Foundry goes, hey, guess what? Now that Sony showed you what the console looked like, let's talk about the cooling. That way you get ahead of the conversation instead of lagging behind on bad rumors, bad information, just stupid shit.
But P-Rock, here's the thing, right? Their strategy is, there's a lot of fake rumors out there. There's a lot of whatever. But I think Sony wants to get away from talking about just specs. Think about it. If you don't have the world's most powerful console, if you're not out to tout that, if you tout games, who cares?
I would say this has nothing to do with that though, because my PlayStation 4 is loud as fuck, so it has nothing to do with Xbox. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with Xbox. My shit is loud. Yeah. Like I have to play with headsets all the time now. Because I can't, because my shit is loud as fuck, and I clean but there's only so high you could put it before people be like, what the fuck are you doing in the house? You understand what I'm saying? You can only put it's loud. My shit is fucking loud, bro. Like, and I cleaned it, I popped it open. My shit is pristine. That shit. These games are pushing this console to the limit. Like, it's pushing it to the very edge of insanity. This shit is loud. This shit's loud as fuck.
Did you guys see my tweet when the first PS5 console, the first PS5 event was coming at June 4th, and they had the ESPN commercial showing. So I recorded off my phone, but I was right next to my PS4, and that jump was going off like a jet because I was playing God of War, and everybody was like, "Yo, your PS4 about to take off, bro." I was like, "Yo, God of War, man."
Mine's only done that on
this shit sounds like an F-35.
Well, that plane is loud. I mean, I flew that on like
it's certain games. You play a Naughty Dog game, if you play God of War, you play Horizon, your PS4 is going to be loud. No matter if you got the regular or the Pro, it's going to go. It's going to go.
Yo, so that is a concern, because that does ruin the fucking like ambiance of your games and shit like that, right? So
the thing is, it's not a the PS4. One thing I say, the PS4 might be loud. It doesn't have heating issues. Like, it's not like overheating.
No, yeah.
It's just the fans is just kicking in, overtime because I guess the logic of the PS4. But
that shit sounds like you trying to blow out you're trying to blow out a fire in your house with your own breath and shit, like
a leaf blower. That's like
this shit is crazy, you know? So I think what they should have done, at least from that aspect, right? Once they knew they were going to reveal the console, time it to where the next day, boom, Digital finally drops that video. Yo, here's Sony's advanced cooling architecture. Just that combo. You know what I'm saying?
They did that. Remember when they revealed the PS4 around E3, and I think that week they had the breakdown with the dude with the white gloves when he was breaking down the thing, and people was doing their videos based off of the teardown, like, oh, here's the cooling, here's what's going on.
Yeah. So something I think
feel like they should drop it
I would say that was a missed opportunity for Sony because now you would have had the combination of the aesthetic look, which a lot of people like, right? A lot of people love, especially that Sony planned it throughout the entire peripherals. It's not just the console, but you saw the headset, the controller, the camera. They all nicely match. So it's a nice, smooth, well thought out process, right? And then the next day, boom, here's the information on the cooling. So that kills any negative conversation. Like, it's done. It's over. Stop talking about it. You know, all the fanboys, all the people looking for clicks and cloud chasing and views, it's over. You had your little fun over the last month with so-called devs that have friends that they knew about PlayStation 5 talking about overheating. Nah, they were all lying. You know, these guys don't have no friends in PlayStation. They're lying. That's why we fired them. That's why they're not with us no more. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't somebody say that the PlayStation was scared and they had been taken in shock of the 12 T-flops and all that kind of stuff? People were
read that interview, bro, on the PlayStation blog where they asked like, why did it take so long, show any PS5 games and stuff like that. Man, I was like, yo, we coming off the success of the PS4. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it makes perfect sense.
Well, number one, the reality is you want a well thought out plan. You just don't want to rush stuff. You just don't want to be first just to be first. Like that backfired for Microsoft. I would say that's their one misstep, which was their third party, quote unquote gameplay review. Right? It was terrible. A lot of people, it's bad, right? When the community now is relying on Microsoft first party to save the day. Like, holy shit. Like, arguably, and let's be real, arguably the weakest strength of Xbox is the first party, and that's what you're betting the bank on this July. You understand what I'm saying? Like, holy shit, So rushing to first doesn't mean anything because, again, at the end of the day, we're not getting these consoles till November. That's when these consoles are coming out, right? So by the time that month comes up, we will know the price. We will know the launch games. We will know the games that are coming out day one along with the console. We will know the price of the controllers.
Microsoft going to risk it?
What?
Don't think they're going to risk it and release it early?
No, it's coming out November. I don't think
it's October? Coming out in November too, but you never know what does these guys. These guys, they want a heads up on PlayStation quick. You know what I mean? So,
but there is no heads up because they don't.
November too.
They don't have. See, you got to remember again. They don't have the market penetration, so they could come out in July for all the fuck they want. Like, who are you gonna sell to? You don't have a huge market, so they don't. It's not a snap. It's just a reality. Xbox console doesn't have a huge market around the world, so November is traditionally the month where you sell the most. It's the largest video game selling month in the whole year. Mm-hmm. You sell the most consoles, you sell the most games, you sell the most controllers, you sell the most everything. So that's why over the last couple of years, outside of Nintendo, all consoles have now been launched in November because that's literally the heart of sales for gaming content. So I think that's
when people spend the most money.
Yeah, people are willing to drop so much money in November. So that's just I see them both coming out now. When in November might come out a week before PlayStation. The timing is something. But I think at this point, everybody is made up their mind on who's going to get it. So I think launch-wise, both consoles are going to be successful because you have enough hardcore Xbox guys. You have enough hardcore PlayStation guys. Whatever. The real key is
you're going to see the difference around like January.
Yes, that's when 2021 is what it tells.
There's going to be a shortage of PlayStation 5s, but there's still going to be a lot of Xboxes on the shelves. Trust me.
Yeah, I think I can see that. Yeah, I can see that happening.
You with the two SKUs?
I'm gonna say this with PlayStation. It depends on how much. It depends on how much Microsoft releases, because it's a balance of how much they think they're gonna be able to sell versus what they actually do sell, right? So I don't think you're gonna see much. I think Xbox X is gonna sell well.
PlayStation, just like you said, PlayStation do have to put those consoles in more regions.
Yes.
Though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have to supply more areas than Xbox, and I don't think Phil's gonna go crazy with putting more consoles on shelves that's gonna sell. I think he's smart enough to know, I think he's smart enough to know to make sure Xbox doesn't get through that negative image of, oh my God, look, you got so many Xbox Series X's on the shelf on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna make sure he doesn't. He's gonna make sure that one Best Buy store doesn't have 1,000 Xboxes because he knows that store's not gonna sell 1,000. They might get 50.
PS5 can't play Mass Effect. I may get an Xbox.
You have a PC.
You create the demand.
Okay, you have a
play on
PC.
PC. I will. I'll do that too. But they got to get this right.
You know what I'm saying?
They got to get this.
But you see what I'm saying? So I think
you saw the article on the back, the BC Craig. They testing the 4,000 games and they saying that the progression is being really successful.
Yeah.
Well, and tomorrow, what is EA's thing? What is EA's thing?
I think they already had it.
All right, the 17th. Okay, no. Wednesday,
With
EA
the
is
squadron
going
shit?
to be announcing.
Tomorrow is the Madden.
EA Play.
Isn't that Madden though?
Yeah, they're going to have Madden tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I ain't watching that
because they're already
shit.
talking about it on ESPN. But if I don't see them come out and say Mass Effect, all 3 games with DLC on PS4, PS5, whatever, then I'm gonna cop an attitude. I think what the kids say, feel some kind of way. I'm going to be that tomorrow. I will feel some kind of way.
You want a remaster or a remake? I don't know, man.
I would like a remaster and at 1080p, 60 frames a second. So the same as on my PC. Well,
I'll definitely play Mass Effect. I'll definitely play Mass Effect 2 again for sure, yo. I love that game.
You gotta play all of them. It ain't the same. You gotta play all of them.
I ain't playing that shit.
I played 2. The only one I missed was 1.
Oh, you gotta play.
I played 1. You didn't play 1? Why not?
Yeah.
Because I was done with Xbox.
Oh no, but on PlayStation they had the what was it? The trilogy?
One.
Yeah, no, it had 1.
It did?
Yeah, but you had to buy the bundle.
Yeah.
That's how.
I didn't get the trilogy. I bought them separately.
Oh no, I bought the trilogy.
I bought it in 3.
They bought the trilogy, and they had all. That's how they were able to get 1 on PlayStation by selling it as a trilogy pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed out one.
Yeah, Showan, what's up? Yeah. He says this is for the homie P-Rock. God bless. No doubt, brother. God bless you too as well.
Yo, Showan is a bot, but he's
cool, man. I love him, man. Yeah, man. He's my boy, man. We be chilling on Twitter. Yeah, he is, man. He's a good dude and stuff like that. So now here's the thing. So I want to talk to you guys in comparison. So looking at the PS5 reveal, what you think Microsoft needs to do in July within reason?
Shit.
All right, within reason, like be realistic on who we're talking about here, right? To have at least a successful showing, all right, within reason, all right? We'll start with J-Dub because J-Dub is gonna come out with the craziest shit right
J-Dub, bless him real quick.
Oh shit!
Hey, I'm gonna be honest.
Within reason, now.
Listen, I ain't finna lie. I ain't finna blow smoke. There's nothing they can do. Bro.
Oh shit!
Yo, bless him one time, J-Dub. Bless him.
Listen,
this guy.
Halo, Gears, Forza, even Fable, it won't work. Those are tired franchises.
Well, I think Fable will be all right because we haven't had a Fable in a minute.
Listen. It's going to end up looking like Fable Legends. Let's face it, man. They're going to focus on backwards compatibility. There's going to be some other stuff, maybe some remastered. The studios that they bought, they're all, double A and indie type. So, we're probably going to get some bug snatch stuff.
And my weenie hands.
Frames a second and 8K, 120 frames a second with bug snacks too. I hate to say it, bro, but listen, Photo Rock, we've been doing this shit for 7 years. We're veterans in this game, bro. We know we've waited for 7 E3s, 7 Comic Cons, 7.
Tokyo Game Shows.
Yeah.
When they told Z,
it's a wrap,
when
bro.
they told Z Tokyo Game Show, wait for Tokyo Game Show. He's like, what?
Xbox not even-
Yo, he was mad. That's when he was done. That's when he signed the contract. When they told him wait for Tokyo Game Show, he's like, yo, wait for San Diego Comic Con.
Hey, it's really funny how this generation went. The most diehard, the biggest Xbox guys signed that Kratos contract.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody left. That's sad. Ain't nobody left.
They still got smooth. They still got smooth Kratos.
Listen,
I feel bad for Smooth, man. Xbox don't deserve Smooth.
Money, yeah.
They don't deserve Smooth, man. They don't deserve him. I feel bad for Smooth, man. He deserves so much more.
The only bots left are indie and AA bots.
Oh shit!
Tier 2 and Tier 3 bots. I done signed all the first class, first wave bots.
Well, you signed Muscle Bound Gamer.
All right, so Jay Barry, how about you? How about your opinion? Why you think, within reason, what Microsoft could do this July?
Yo, I'm for me personally, I gotta agree with Kratos, man. Like I look at it, right? Look at it for a second, right? I look at Xbox. I look at like what IP that tickles my fancies, Jay Barry fancies. I can't think of anything that like I'm going to get overly excited for Xbox, right? And then the whole thing that it's not tied to a specific console. I don't think it's going to impact with PlayStation, because PlayStation is letting you know this is tied to this console. Look, Spiderman 5. You see the hashtags? P-Rock, you see the hashtags? That's all you see on Twitter all day, bro. Spider-Man PS5. You going to do an Xbox? Halo, Xbox Series X? No, it's on PC too. It's on the Xbox One too. That impact is not going to be as strong because you have nothing really tying them to that next gen console. But just to be nice, I guess I would say it has to show something. They first party that's a new IP that just looks like top notch, that this is gonna be that game, or this looks real interesting. But then again, it goes back around in circle. It's not gonna be tied to the box. You know what I mean? So the impact is not gonna hit. It's not gonna hit, bro. Right. It sounds like a fanboy, but it's just real talk. Like it's not gonna hit. They're pretty much their design on how, or their plans on how they want to treat next gen, it kind of depreciates gaming as far as people getting excited for the next gen console and Xbox, in my personal opinion, because everything that you would get excited for a next gen console or the next generation, they take that away from you on the Xbox side. Okay. You have Halo Infinite coming out. It's not going to be only on that box. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so what incentives do you have to go out there to really? I just don't see it. Be honest with you, and it's not being fanboy. It's just like real talk. I don't see it.
All right, Craig, how about you?
I think all they really have to do is show some first party games. They're going to show some new IP. I've been hearing possible Splinter Cell could be shown. Fable could possibly be shown. So again, they're going to probably, Halo's going to have a nice gameplay. Hopefully that catches everybody's eye. But that to me is what I think they're going to do. I just think the problem is they're constantly comparing what they have to what Sony's doing, and it's not fair because, like Kratos just said, and Sony's got way too much IP that you're already invested in. You're going to carry over. Doesn't matter if the console is $5.99 or $4.99. People are going to buy the console. You just have to trade something in. So, but I think they'll be fine. I just. There's nothing wrong with the Xbox at all. If that's what you want to go buy it. You don't have to justify buying. That's blue pill simpish behavior. Just go buy it and enjoy it. That's pretty much it. Just stop justifying what you got. The fanboys are stupid as hell. They are so stupid. Like I said, I think my pet Rock has a higher IQ than their fans online. But overall, just go enjoy the console. There's nothing wrong with it. So let's have fun.
All right, so let me try to help out Microsoft with this, all right? Which I think that could help them out for their July show. Number one, all games have to be running on Xbox Series X. Don't talk about PC, right? If this event is about Xbox Series X, then all games have to be running on Xbox Series X. Not on PC, not on Xbox One. Don't even talk about smart delivery. Yes, Microsoft has it. But again, this is about the Xbox Series X. This is about talking to the Xbox Series X consumer. The Xbox Series X consumer doesn't really care about smart delivery if you're already presenting the games, the best versions on the games on the console. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing they got to do. They got to make sure they don't talk about anything else. They don't talk about PC. They don't talk about Xbox One. Just focus on the Xbox Series X. Yes, there's going to be people in the Xbox community or even other gamers that might ask, oh, wait a minute. What about Xbox? Xbox One, you didn't say anything. Oh, what about PC? They could talk about that after the event on Twitter. They could clarify on Twitter, maybe talk to an article, whatever. But the event should be Xbox Series X focus. Just talk to the console. Show the games from the console. Don't show it on PC with a disclaimer, this is how you expect it to look. No, this is the games on Xbox Series X. You understand what I'm saying? Whatchamacallit? Next thing, don't show Xbox X as a, hey, you can play the best version of Xbox One games. This is probably the one thing that bugs my mind, right? You want to focus on games that didn't make the console they were made for successful, but you want to use it again for the new shit. Like, it doesn't make sense. I understand backwards compatibility and all that stuff, but if you got new shit, then show new shit. If you're going to sell new console, then show new shit. Yes, even though it's cross-gen, but talk about the new shit. Don't talk about how the old shit can be better on the new shit. That's not a selling point. You understand what I'm saying? Talk about the new games in development. Yeah, even though it's cross-gen or whatever, but talk about it from the Xbox Series X focus and how the Xbox Series X makes it amazing, right? Don't tie it in and show that it's still on Xbox One. You don't need to talk about that at this event, all right? That could be a tweet or Twitter or a separate conversation. Just say, hey, look at this game, Xbox Series X. Look how beautiful it looks. All right, the next game, look at it. Look how beautiful it looks. Hey, look at it. Look how beautiful it looks. Sure, you're going to have people be like, but I'm on Xbox One. Bitch, we're talking about first class. Your ass is on coach. Sit the fuck back in the plane, all right? You know, this is first class seating. Yes, you're all on the same plane, but you're not in first class. This event is for the people in first class. This event's for the people that's willing to drop $500, $600, whatever the console costs. This is about them, okay? This isn't about Xbox One guys. That will make the show more successful because, trust me, nobody's waiting in July to talk about these games from my Xbox One perspective. That's not what we're doing here. Like, no one really cares about that. No one really cares about looking at these games from a Xbox One perspective. And no one really wants to care about looking at these games from a PC perspective. Sure, I'm sure the PC gamers care. But this show, we know what this show is really about. This show is supposed to push next gen and usher in next generation consoles. So focus on that. Then once the show is done, yes, you can answer the PC gamers. Wait a minute, you didn't say anything about PC. Yes, the game's on PC. But Xbox, you say you always support Xbox. Yes, the game is still on Xbox. But as far as this event goes, we're only focusing on Xbox Series X, and we're going to show an Xbox Series X, and you're going to see how it plays and looks on Xbox Series X. We're not going to reiterate PC and Xbox One, which takes away the shine from the new shit that you want people to buy in November. I will say that's the number one thing Microsoft needs to do for this July show. You know, if that show starts off with this game and we see a disclaimer running on PC, it's a L. It's a fucking L. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear it.
It's July
like,
too, bro.
In July,
you know what I mean? They got like
they cannot show any games on PC on that show. Every game they show has to be an Xbox Series X shown. It needs to say shown from Xbox Series X. footage captured on Xbox Series X. If that shit says footage captured on PC, expected outcome or expected performance, nah.
Representative of the Series X.
Or representative of Series X, nah. It ain't representing shit. It representing the only thing something like that will represent is you are fully supporting PC. That's what you're constantly telling me. If every time I look at your show and I keep seeing on PC, then why would I get your console? If I keep seeing it doesn't make sense.
It's scary too, bro. It's scary that so far every game that you have shown for this system is not running on the system. That's scary. You know what I mean? Like,
so yeah. So the event has to be Xbox Series X focus. Do not worry about reminding people it's on Xbox One. You don't have to remind nobody. You're not selling Xbox Ones in November. You're selling an Xbox Series X. So just focus on that and just say, this is how it looks. This is how it runs. This is what you will be playing on Xbox Series X. Then, of course, you're going to get the questions from the guys who still play on Xbox One. Fuck them. They're Coach. You're not going to, you don't serve steak to the people in Coach. They don't get to order from the menu. They get the pre-planned meal. You want chicken or vegan? What the fuck you want? Right? If you wanted to order your own menu, you should have bought a first-class ticket. But you didn't. So you get a choice from these two, and that's it. That's all. That's just how it is. And if they don't do that, if they don't take their stance, if they do this, try to please everybody, as the saying goes, your attempt to please everyone ends up pleasing no one. You got to pick a stance. You got to pick a line. And it's just for that show. It's not like, it's going to be a permanent stance every single day. Just for that show. For that one show, focus on Xbox Series X. Have the games run on Xbox Series X. That's it. Don't talk about smart delivery. If you play it on Xbox One X, you'll get... No, you don't need to talk about those platforms. Just show it on Xbox Series X. That's it. Don't talk about nothing else. Don't talk about PC. Don't talk about Steam. Don't talk about xCloud. Don't talk about how these games are accessible. Don't even say the phrase, play where you want. No. Xbox Series X, coming out this holiday season. This is the version. This is the console you want. Have a nice day. And obviously show the games. And then that's it. That's all you got to do for 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour dedicating to Xbox Series X is not going to kill and destroy Microsoft. Microsoft's not going to all of a sudden collapse because you focus on Xbox Series X for 1 hour in the event. And you just showed the games. I mean, this is the new shit you're trying to sell. Like, no one's going to cry and flip out that you didn't talk about Xbox One, a 7-year-old ass console in 2020 in July. No one's going to flip out. Everybody will be all right, The Xbox One. Hell, most people don't even play the Xbox One, so who's really going to cry about not getting more games on a console they don't even turn on in the first place? You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be real. Focus for 1 hour, hour and a half, however that show is, on that one product.
People, please let that show not be an hour. That would be torture.
I'm just saying.
They need 40 minutes tops.
That's it. I would say that's the first step, man. That's the first step. Just like Sony. Sony showed games on PS5. That's it. They didn't try to talk about PS Now. You didn't see the Bloodborne remake on PC. They didn't make a Horizon Zero Dawn announcement on PC. They didn't announce Spiderman. They didn't do anything. They didn't talk about PC or any shit like that. You understand? I say people were thinking, "Oh man, I think Sony's gonna announce some games on PC at this show." No, Sony don't give a fuck. Like, no,
not that dumb.
Like, no, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you stupid? Like, no, we're not talking about that. We're gonna talk about PC when we're trying to sell the console. But it doesn't compete with. Shut your ass up. Like, we trying to sell a console, not video cards. Like, we're focusing on this console, and that's it, And then that's Sony. Sony just focused on the PS5. Notice they didn't talk about PS4 at all. At fucking all. Hell, people are asking, is Miles Morales going to be on PS4? Sony's like, hell fucking not. Like,
it's funny too, because the one game that they showed on PS4, which is Grand Theft Auto 5, and came and he was talking about the PS5. You know what I mean, with that game. Yeah. He's like, how it was going to benefit you on PS4 or on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so.
Oh shit! Our sister from another mister, Ashunuka, says, "What's good, Kings? Hope y'all staying safe for everything going on. The future of gaming show gets a 9/10 for me. Demon Souls, baby. Oh yeah, I know she's excited for that.
Luca knows.
Yeah, Luca. Luca's torn between Destiny 2 and Demon Souls, and she's like, Luca. Shout out to the queen.
You see these reviews that these dudes are having out here talking about 6 out of 10.
You know what I'm saying?
These dudes are high.
I'm telling you, if they have that show and the games and some of the games are running on PC, it's a fucking L. There's no way around it. No games should be running on PC on that show. Not one game. Not saying that it's not going on PC. Yes, we know that. But every game needs to be shown on Xbox Series X. For good or for bad, better or worse, it's gotta be running on Xbox Series X.
If they show a game that's coming out for the PC, like they have games that's coming out for PC, they most likely going to announce, bro.
No. Like don't even talk about PC at all. Like that's not that day. Not that day. Not that day. Stay away from PC that day. Do it on another day. Pick another day to talk about PC. Do it on an article, Twitter. Have a separate event. Just don't talk about it that day. Whenever you have that event, we all know why we're watching that event, or we all know why people want to talk about that event. It's because of Xbox Series X, not because of accessibility on Xbox One, or you get to still keep your console, or you supporting Steam. No. On that day for 1 hour, it's about the Series X. That's all you talking about. Nothing else. And then the hour's over. And then you go back to Kumbaya after the hour.
If it's third party, it can't be helped. If they're showing a third party game, it's going to have to say coming to Series X, Xbox family consoles, Windows, and PlayStation.
No, they don't have to say. They don't have to say that. No, they don't. They don't have to say that at all. They have to say. No, I know. I understand that. But the third party, all they got to say is, "Hey, this game that we're showing is running on Xbox Series X. This is how it looks." That's not saying. That's not saying it's not going anywhere else.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
They're just saying the fact. Hey, we're showing you the Series X version, and this is how it looks.
But if people are not going to buy it, why are they going to watch the conference? Like, I'm not watching the conference. I'm not buying one. Now, I heard they patented Series S. So if they announce that, then I'll start following the Series S. But to me, if you're not going to buy one, why are you going to watch the conference anyway?
I'm watching it. Put out that YouTube content, baby.
No, but that shit's not getting monetized anyway. My shit got demonetized. I'm like, motherfucker. But I still left it up, though.
They be putting them copyrights on there.
It is mostly for the Japanese games. Them guys are cheap. They stingy.
Yeah, Bandai don't play. Bandai, they will strike you down. Man, yeah. I don't stream none of that shit. Man,
I learned that lesson. Bandai, I learned that lesson.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, Bandai's crazy. But that's just my thing for the hype people are trying to do. My first criteria is I better not see a game on PC. If I see games running on PC, that's a zero. Someone else took your SATs and you got caught cheating. Sorry.
Thing is, P-Rock, I agree with you 100% as far as what they should do.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it.
they're not built like that, bro. They're not built like that.
It's the same group of people that swore up and down that 60 frames a second was going to be normal and standard next gen. It's like, who is telling you this? Child. Like, you want to shake them. Child, what's wrong with you? Who tells you these things?
I think you're going to see 60 frames more often, but 30, like I said, 30 frames not going nowhere. Developers are going to want to push their graphics. Want to push the higher res.
I think the best we can hope for is like what Jay Barry said, that we have performance options. That's it. We get to choose. Graphical performance.
That's a safe.
If
bet.
every game could just do that, if every game could do that, then I think everybody would be happy. I think everybody would be happy if that every game has performance mode, lock 60.
I highly doubt that we'll see a game that don't have the option to switch how you want to. It's highly unbelievable.
I think we will.
It's going to be hard, bro. It's going to be hard to see that.
I think Assassin's Creed is not going to have that. I think when they do get out, what's the name of that game? I can't think of it. Resident Evil. It may not. I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath on that, especially early. Now
you run at 60 now.
All right.
You're
shout
at
out
60 now, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that early. Maybe in the next 30 months when games come out, that option will be there. So
okay. So shout out to Super Jamaican. He says, you're setting yourself up for failure for this July event. It's pure first-party games. They're obligated to support devices across Windows, Xbox One, Series X. Only console talk will be Series S, weaker box. So you are correct. They are obligated to support, but they are not obligated to talk about it this show. There's no law that says we're only talking about the Series X for this 1 hour broadcast. You know what I'm saying? They could make the broadcast, about the Series X, because that's what they're trying to sell. That doesn't mean that they have to talk about Windows or Xbox One or Xbox One X. They don't have to talk about it. Sure, the games are still coming out, but that doesn't mean they got to mention those platforms for this particular show. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They could just say, hey, this show, we're showing everything on the Series X, and we're going to talk about how these specific games perform and look on the Series X. You do that for an hour, game after game after game after game, and then you end the show. That's it. You did what you had to do for the Series X. That doesn't mean it's not going to be sold on PC. That doesn't mean it's not going to be sold on Xbox One. That doesn't mean you can't get it through Game Pass on your Xbox One X. That doesn't mean none of that. It just simply means you had a 1 hour show, the focus on Series X, how these games look on Series X, how they perform on Series X, and this is what you will get when you buy a Series X. Have a nice day. That's it. That's it. Not taken away. That's not sending a message that they're not supporting anything else. It's just a show specifically for the Series X and how it looks on the Series X, and then you end the show. That's all it is. Yeah. That's all it is for 1 hour. It's one show for 1 hour.
They need to have their show just like the PlayStation.
Yeah, that's it. Just show that particular product. Don't worry about it. Everybody knows the games are on Xbox One. Everybody knows the game's going to be on Xbox One X. They know it's going to be on PC. Everybody knows that. You don't need to regurgitate that. You have a new product. Show what that new product does. Show it what it could do. Noximus, thank you for Super Chat, says, because Game Pass is the cornerstone for Microsoft, AA games and services, if that's what you're into, you're going to be just fine. Just realize that this is the case, though. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
That's why I don't want Sony to adopt day one PS Now shit, because they will do the same thing. They would look more for quicker turnaround, smaller AA titles versus these long invested AAA experiences. And I want these long invested AAA experiences. You understand what I'm saying? But streaming doesn't work that way. Like on demand streaming content, you gotta constantly. It's like Netflix. You gotta constantly look at Netflix. Netflix got some bangers, right? Cause they got some banger shows and movies, right? But they have a ton of bullshit. That's true. They release like 300 shows, and most of them suck. Right?
They got that fodder in there.
Yeah, they got a lot of fodder in that motherfucking list. I'm like, God damn, these motherfuckers got some shitty shit that don't make no sense.
I got some trash too. So.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of trash on Netflix, but there is some bangers, But I don't want PlayStation to do that. I want them to focus on. I want these studios to focus on good bangers, and release them, even if it comes out every 3 years.
A PlayStation at PS Now right now is perfectly fine in my opinion, because just wait it out, a year or two. You can put those games on there. People want to play it. Boom, you have it there. But having it day one, I just think that's not a smart move, in my personal opinion. Yeah, you're gonna get the quick little buy-ins that people's gonna. Oh, let me subscribe now, but for how long?
It's not just that.
It's not like you pumping out those quality games.
You have to change your focus, because if you're gonna put the games day one on PS now PS Now becomes one of your primary platforms. Now you have two primary platforms. You got your PS5 and you got your PS Now. They're side by side now. You understand what I'm saying? And that changes things. There's certain decisions you have to make. You understand what I'm saying? And again, you can't support a streaming platform with games that come out once every 3 years or 4 years. You need more content more often, right? And that's gonna force, as a publisher, you're gonna designate studios that are trying to push big AAA projects. You'll be like, nah, you don't have the time to make one game or 2 games or 3 games, whatever. We need 6, 7, 8 games. That means You got to make a couple of single A's. You need to make more indies. You know, you have to change your strategy for some of your studios to pump out more games, right? And obviously, these big blockbuster games that take time ain't going to cut it. So you got to drop down the projects to smaller projects, to more indies, more single A titles, you know? So you got a studio, like, you can't do that to Naughty Dog. You can't make Naughty Dog pump out 3, 4, 5 games, single A games, just so you could pad PS Now. Fuck no. Hell no. Hell no. That's not what we want from them. That's not what we want from them at all.
The quality, man.
Nah, yeah, I want quality. I want shit that changes your life. You understand what I'm saying? I want shit that changes your life. All right? You know, I just don't want shit that keeps my fingers busy. No. I want life-changing games. You understand what I'm saying? Hell nah. Like, look at The Last of Us. That shit's dropping this Friday. That shit's going to be an incredible, epic experience. Not just no cash and grab or generic or just good enough quality gaming or decent gaming or it's subjectively fun gaming. Nah, motherfucker. I want them Game of the Year bangers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
I understand.
Yeah. So anyway, is there anything you guys want to leave off? Because I think we'll cut the show. Hello. Hey, quick question, you guys. Yeah. You know how Discord now does video? Like, you see the shit, right? In the chat?
Yeah.
Can you stream that directly to YouTube from Discord? Because I saw an option. I'm going to do a test run.
Or the on live thing?
Yeah, the live on air, you know, because now you have video now.
Yeah, because J-Dub is he's muted, and if you go to your Discord, you can see by that beautiful Rembrandt.
Yeah. No, but
that's video.
If you
my picture came up.
Yeah, but you see it if you go into if you look in the Discord,
I see it.
They enable screen now. So I'm wondering if you could stream this directly into YouTube without having to go through OBS. I'm gonna test that out.
Oh, that I'm gonna test it out.
I'm gonna test that out. I'm gonna find that out because this kind of reminds me of the back in the day Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's a bit more stable than OBS, or at least simpler.
Simpler, yeah. Because OBS, you got to keep going in and tweaking it. So.
Like OBS, man, it has a few little hiccups there, but like once you master it, like it comes much easier. Sure. Especially once you get like a Stream Deck. No lie, Stream Deck is really
Stream Deck
beneficial. Oh, the Elgato Stream Deck.
Okay.
Where instead of manually, picking your scenes, you can just press the button. It does it for you. Like it's just a quicker way to do this stuff to OBS.
All right, peeps.
Turn it off.
All right, peeps. We've been here for 2 hours, G. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
Hours, G.
We're at 2 hours, G. You understand what I'm saying? But I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. All right. Hey, you guys shout yourselves out. Tell them where they can find you. Tell them what you do.
It's your boy J-Dub. Y'all know where to find me on Twitter at JDubCity16. Keep you guys laughing with the gifts and the memes. You know what I mean? Breaking them legs every day.
True.
All right, Jay Barry.
Man, it's your boy Jay Barry, the best list on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter, JBarry_. You can find me on YouTube. That's Jay. Station content. We have fun with it. Try to entertain. It's always going to be a good time over there, man. So come on through, and we're going to have some fun with it, man.
Yeah, don't forget about you still do your Speak from the Heart podcast.
Yeah, the most consistent podcast on YouTube.
No shit. My shit's sporadic.
Speak from the Heart. Hey, we busy out here, people.
Yeah,
right? They don't understand, man. But Speak from the Heart, man. If you guys ever wanted us get your speak from your heart, get whatever you got to say off your chest. You can come on through. It's an open chat. I usually open up the chat. You guys can.
He like Kevin Hart. Say it with your chest.
With
what?
Chest.
And the Messiah.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a good time, and I'm on Twitter if you want to follow me, and I'm the most honest Xbox gamer out there. And if you start lying, I'll cheat. So,
this dude right here.
yeah.
Oh shit. Anyway, hey everybody, thanks for rocking out. We truly appreciate it. We got one more super chat from Super Jamaican. He says, "Laugh aloud. They not about that life. They mascot kumbaya." Hey, I'm trying, man. Hey, I'm trying, man. If Phil could listen to me, hopefully he listens to me on what he needs to do for that show in July. But it is what it is. Hey, thanks for rocking out. Truly appreciate for you guys taking your time. All right, if you're new to the channel and you just enjoyed what you heard, don't forget, before you leave, to subscribe, hit that like button, and we out of here. You understand what I'm saying? I got to go to bed. It's 2 in the morning, G.
2 in the morning, G? Yeah, I'm one of those 1,200 people working on Halo, man.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, with the crunch. We crunching right here. All right, peace.